Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our twice a month CIPA UX research. I can't, for some reason, I can't get to, oh, do you know what? I keep clicking on the wrong link for the agenda. Lori, you have the first agenda item.
I do. So Andre and I are prepping for the category maturity scorecard for the job to be done about setting up a green CI pipeline. I was just here to ask for help defining the task or tasks that need to be completed to do that, and how to set up a test, like something for them to use so they're not using their own GitLab instance. I don't know how to do that. So point me to some instructions, I'll figure it out, or offer up your fine fingers and hand coding skills, I will take them. And we've moved testing out a week to accommodate Andre's and I's schedule. So we're hoping to do the sessions the 14th through the 21st. So we don't have to talk about like defining the task here. I'm happy to do that asynchronously. It's just a call for help.
Yeah, thanks for working on this, Lori. I saw that you tagged me in the issue and also in the document. I'll go through and do my best to contribute whatever I know.
Thank you, Nadia, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I guess the question is like how complicated we want the task to be. Like, do we want to do something simple? Like ask the user to like add a couple of stages, add a couple of jobs, and that's it? Or do we want to ask him to, him or her, like to take a job pipeline and things like that? Like that's, I guess that would be my question.
Yeah, Dova, that's a great question. Typically, I'd say we would want to shoot for something in the middle, not something too easy, not something too hard. A pipeline that may be pretty typical that somebody might need to set up. I don't know what that might be. Maybe something to for testing. I don't know. Maybe something to push it. I don't know. I have no clue. But not something that they'd have to like learn YAML for, because we're targeting Travis, Circle CI, and Jenkins people for this CMS. So they may not be familiar with our language. So yeah, it's just kind of hard to strike that balance, I think, but I'm sure we can come up with something.
Hey, Lori, what does CMS stand for?
Category Maturity Scorecard.
Oh, okay, because I think of content management system when I look at that. Okay.
Yep, the customer management
maturity.
system. Totally,
okay.
Yes.
Category maturity scorecard, okay.
I dropped a comment there, Lori. I mean, it's again from my understanding. So it's written in the document for GPD that I need to create a green pipeline so others in my team can leverage CI to increase the efficiency of the task. So I think this needs to be split into two parts, like creating the pipeline and then getting to the first green pipeline. So I've elaborated on that point.
I'm not sure if that's only me, Vitika. I've heard you really well.
Yeah, it sounds like you're underwater.
Sounds like you're on a speaker instead of headphones or something.
It gave an echo, Vitika. So I was straining to understand too. Sorry, I didn't get all of it.
Is it fine now?
Oh, that's a little better.
Perfect. So I was saying that I have dropped a comment in the document. So I saw the jobs to be done there. That's written. It says, I need to create a green pipeline so others in my team can leverage CI to increase the efficiency of the tasks. In my opinion, this needs to be split into two parts. This task, one is creating the pipeline and the next one is getting to the first green pipeline. So I've just elaborated on the same point a bit there.
Okay, perfect. Jason, Tao, Dove, what do you guys think?
Maybe we want to do something like maybe provide like a broken pipeline and ask the user to fix it. So this way
that's a different task.
Like YAML or
Well, Jason, what do you think? Because when we talked about this initially, we were wanting to get a good understanding of if somebody dropped into CI to try to create a pipeline, could they do it, and what kind of problems would they have with it? If we gave them one that's just broken, I feel like that's a different task.
Yeah, I
But
think that's something different also. That's not the new user adoption journey. If
yeah,
it's just fixing somebody else's broken pipeline.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good to keep it a little open-ended, and it would be very helpful to see exactly what struggles our users have if we literally drop them into the CI and we just let them try it out. And I think that's kind of the goal, you know. Eventually we want to understand how can we make that experience as smooth and easy as possible, so a new user could be just dropped into the CI and they can understand what their next steps should be and how they should proceed. Maybe we could do something around, like, kind of frame the task in a way that they have to use the template, and can they get to the green pipeline by applying the template? I'm not sure. Because in my understanding, if someone who creates a project wants to set up CI/CD, they probably do it from the project page, and they click on the add CI/CD configuration, and then they are taken to the editor, and that's where you have all of the templates. And then depending on what kind of project you have, you will choose one template or another. From that point on, I don't really know how much customization and how much knowledge of the YAML one needs to have, but this is also something that we're testing, right? So then they would have to go to the documentation and they would have to figure it out and probably fail. It's not so easy probably to get to the green pipeline at first try. But maybe we could set up some project that you could apply the CI template for, and that would require minimal customization. But yeah, again, I also don't know what that project would be.
Lori, there's two types of folks, and I want to know if you're targeting this research on both. There's a DevOps engineer who is creating everything from scratch, a new project in GitLab, and then needing to create a pipeline for it. And then there's another type of user who has a pipeline in a third-party CI tool, and they want to translate those jobs into our CI YAML file configuration.
yeah.
I don't know. So for the second scenario, for example, we would say, hey, bring like a simple, one of your simplest pipeline that you have already somewhere else, and and research how they would translate that into GitLab's CI YAML.
What do you feel would be the best representation of our category?
Both, I think, are pretty valid.
Okay, so if we do both, that means we're now not just talking to 15 people, we'll have to talk to 30, because we'll have to send both, because they're not the same person.
Both being
right?
valid doesn't mean you have to do both.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Like, what direction would you guys prefer for us to go into? I lean towards the first one, because if we're trying to lower the barrier to adoption and people wanting just to start using it and they may never have used CI before, that's that DevOps engineer from the first group. However, I do know how important it is to capture existing CI people who are using other tools and pull them over to our tools. So
probably paying customers is the people who already are building something. So maybe that's the best one to go after.
okay, so the one that's got a pipeline in another tool and need to translate it into ours.
Because we're
Can
trying to
that be?
get them to adopt. That's part of the adoption journey for them too. Not starting from
Yeah.
scratch, but transitioning from what they use now to GitLab CI.
Okay. And then does it make sense to have them use the template as part of that task for that type of user? My only concern is I don't want to spend an hour with them trying to learn YAML. We want them to actually move on at some point and interact with our tool. Otherwise, the finding's going to be YAML's hard to learn.
That's a good question. If I had something in another tool, I would glance at what templates we have to see how closely it is to what I need. Because the idea is once they start using a template, they modify it slightly based on their scenario, but I wouldn't want to have to edit it a lot. I would look at it to see, okay, it has the basic jobs I want, the build, the test, the deploy. And then I just need to add in a few things that are specific custom variables or whatever. And so I'm trying to think through what the user would do. And if they look at the templates that we have and say, that's not even close, I would have to edit it so much, I might as well start fresh from nothing. In that case, they would have to understand YAML to say, the way I would write this in Jenkins or in Circle CI, I would have to write this way in YAML.
Right. And we can do that. My gut tells me what the outcome is of that's going to be. You know, we need to support them a lot more in translating their variables into YAML. And I just don't know how valuable it would be for everybody to do a test like that, where we can't actually get to the point where they push go and to test the pipeline or anything. I don't know. Maybe that is still valuable and it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the end, this is kind of the process, right? So there's no way around it. The way to get to a green pipeline is to write the YAML, check out the documentation, write the YAML, check documentation, fix things, and then after some failures, it will be green. So I totally understand this obstacle, that there's this risk that we will just get stuck with them trying to figure out YAML, and that's the thing that we learn. But there's, as far as I understand, there's no really other step that we would be waiting for. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the process.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually that's kind of also the thing that we want to improve and make easier. So yeah, I mean, it's not ideal if everybody gets stuck, but that's a lesson that maybe that's where we can focus.
Okay. And just to be clear, category maturity scorecard is not a usability test. It is something that they go through and they don't talk, because we time them on their tasks and we note success or failure of the tasks. So if we're looking for something that's much more nuanced about giving them a task and telling them to talk to us the whole time through and give us feedback on what they wish they had and what they don't have, that's more of a usability test. And I'm open to doing either. I don't have time to do both before the end of next month, but I'm open to doing either one, whichever one the team feels is more useful. We initially talked about
maturity meant to measure
the category maturity,
but without tying it to the usability in some way.
Ideally, the category maturity scorecard is not done before you already have done testing and user-centered design on
then
that
let's not
part
do
of the
that one
product.
first, and we can do the other one first and then come back around for the other one.
Okay, so we'd rather do a usability test first.
Well, that's what it sounds like you're suggesting.
Yeah. I am, Jason. Yes.
I don't really know the difference too much between the two, but whichever one is the one that makes sense is the one that we should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just learned something, that there's a distinction between the two of those. So yeah, Lori, we probably want to do a usability test first.
Okay, that's fair. All right, and so I will still need to understand, like, what might be the best scenario for these people who are coming in from a third-party tool, like what might they want to do? I don't know, like automate testing or something maybe, I'm not sure. And I can, for usability tests, we give them a scenario, we talk with them, and then they attempt, hopefully successfully, to complete the task. And they talk to me the whole time they're going through it and telling me, like, I don't know where to go now. What do I do? And I say, I don't know. What would you do? So that's kind of the very typical usability test. But we still do need to define the task or tasks we want them to accomplish, and come up with a system for them to do that in. Especially if we're talking to Circle CI, Travis, and Jenkins people, they probably will not have a GitLab instance for them to use. So that is something that we can take offline. That's perfectly fine, but I will still need help with that.
Hey, in the screener, Lori, is it actually, it's, maybe it's not in the screener. When one of the questions you ask for in the agenda is what kind of defining the task. I was just thinking if they could come to the session with an excerpt of their existing pipeline and ask them how they would recreate that into GitLab, syntax, which led me to think maybe it's good if we ask them to show an excerpt of their pipeline in the screener, but I don't know, we normally collect that type of information in a screener.
People tend not to want to show that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's their proprietary code.
Okay. And it's just a screener. We do end up talking to them before the actual interview session. So maybe when we actually talk to them, we can ask, during the actual exercise, the usability test, we need you to come prepared with a small excerpt of any pipeline you have and show us how you would use our tool to create that part in GitLab CI.
Yeah, and I think in the event that nobody, like say you got somebody who comes from a very sensitive company, I've talked to them before. Maybe if we could get some examples, like one example from each of those three tools, just to have on hand in case somebody can't share something. And then I'm also thinking maybe tell them, can they share an example of a pipeline that they've used to do some automated testing with, or something like that? Because if you don't give them a little bit of a parameter, they could come up with anything. And we want a little bit of consistency with the testing. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to compare across people.
Gotcha.
Yeah, someone can choose a pretty complex part, and then someone else can choose something easy, and then it's not going to be so. That will affect the results. But maybe we could have an excerpt from a pipeline for Jenkins and then for other tools, and then we just give it to them. So if they currently use Jenkins, we have several users who use Jenkins, and we give this excerpt to them, and we just need to do some research about like what is a very basic pipeline, like a part of Jenkins pipeline configuration, something that we know if someone uses Jenkins CI, they will understand what it is.
Yeah. I think that would be better, because that kind of gives us more consistency through the test. Not that we couldn't ask them for an example tile just to see, like, yes, do you know this tool? But for when it comes to the tasks, I would rather go with what Nadia suggested.
So we would give them an example. Hey, this is a pipeline with some jobs in Jenkins. How would you adapt that into a GitLab CI?
Yep, that's the scenario. So maybe a little bit more about the pipeline. Like this, obviously you can see this is a pipeline for doing some smoke testing or whatever testing. We'll pretend it's one of yours. Now show me how you would recreate this using GitLab
CI. Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
And then that way,
and
we can,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it'll be very useful for us to understand the nuances of what are the things that they're struggling with. This is the information that we're looking for. If someone is moving from Jenkins to GitLab, what exactly do they struggle with the YAML configuration? What is unclear to them? And then we will get insights into how we can simplify it, and then in the end, how we can automate it as well.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, I'll update all of the issues and stuff associated with this. And who can I bug and bother about that code for Jenkins, Travis, and Circle CI?
Probably Dove and I.
Okay.
Hey, Lori, do you want, when I look at the screener you have in question 7, do you want the examples to be for the ones that you have recruit 5 notes for? So an example for Circle CI, for Jenkins, for Travis CI.
Yeah, just those three.
Yeah.
Unless you, the experts, think that we should talk to different people or other types of product users, like other types of products, people who use them. Sorry, it's early.
Did you choose
We just thought that those were the 3. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we thought that they would be the biggest competitors, but if you all have a sense that there's somebody else that we're missing, let us know.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
So, sorry, Lori, just so I understand the approach. So let's say the participant had answered they use Circle CI. When it comes time for the session with them, we would give them a sample Circle CI job or pipeline and then ask them to recreate it in GitLab CI, right?
You
We'd
got
only
it.
give them that. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because we're not really testing their ability to learn somebody else's syntax and then put it into ours. So
yeah. Yeah. And so if that's the case, if we, for whatever reason, didn't anticipate that all of the respondents are going to say, we use Team City, and we didn't have an example, so we would want to just go create a Team City example.
No, we don't have to, because we're going to we're only going to recruit from those 3 competitors.
Okay.
And that's why I was asking. Okay. So like, are those 3 sufficient? Are they the wrong 3? Do we need to add another one in there? Just knowing that we add one more, we add 6 to 8 more people to our test.
Well, maybe the answer to that is based on what results we get from the responses. I mean, I think the ones you have is a good guess now, but once we send the screener out and everyone says, I'm using Bitbucket, we'll realize, oh, okay, we missed it on Bitbucket. Let's also account for that one, testing for that one.
Well, the only problem is we may not have time to do that because we've got to do all the data analysis and give you guys findings by the end of the month, next month. So if there is a competitive landscape though out there that you feel that Bitbucket should be included or trade one for another, let me know today so we can reflect that in the screener and we can get the people who we need. Doesn't mean later we can't do this again with Bitbucket and Bamboo and whoever else is out there, but I just wanted to hit the major players with this one immediately.
Yeah, as far as I know, those look good, but like I said, if we may want to do a follow-up if we realize from the responses that we missed it, that we need a later research on Team City or on Bamboo or something. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
Okay. That helps me to understand how the process is. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we go back to Vitika's comment in the document that is for the category maturity scorecard? I do tend to agree with what Vitika is saying there, that maybe we need to break that into 2 bullets under jobs to be done. One is just creating a pipeline that has no syntax error when it's run through the linter. And then a second thing is it is actually green when it gets executed, or all the troubleshooting that goes along with getting it to green.
Well, the job to be done is higher level than that. I think you're thinking more of a user story, because these are user stories that have to be done to make that job to be done true, right? I need to create that pipeline so other people can use it. What does that really mean? That means you need to learn the syntax, use the templates, test it, and make sure that it passes all the tests. These are all user stories that go into that job to be done.
In that case, sorry, I think just a rephrase of how it's written. So now, right now it's written to create a green pipeline. I think just making it getting to the first green pipeline would do.
Okay, Beathika, do you want to take a stab in your comment to try to rewrite that for me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So I'm good to go on if you guys want to. I know we only have like 3 minutes left.
Sorry. This was very interesting, so I don't mind that we spent a lot of time on this. Okay, I guess agenda item 3, what's the upcoming problem validation? So I haven't had a chance to review the research finding from the release management team, but thank you, Nadia, for reaching out. Or was it you, Lori? Reaching out to Jackie to link me to all their info. But after I review that, I will avoid what their findings were of what was not needed, and then think about what are the MVC we can deliver for a dashboard about pipeline health. Vitika, when I was thinking about this problem validation and trying to keep in mind your 3-year plan design, just your very high level ideas there, it may not be a separate dashboard like I originally thought. It may be something very simple that is like you had in one of your design, just a very simple dashboard at the top of when the pipeline view is displayed, pipeline graph is running, just showing the health of how long each job is taking or where they are in the pipeline progress. It may be as simple as that, as opposed to building out an entire new page and then building on it slowly. A lot of the ideas that Vitika talked through in her Loom recording are the same ideas that I thought I was going to put in a separate dashboard page altogether, but that would probably perpetuate the pain point that she had mentioned, is having to go to multiple pages to get the information you want about a pipeline. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go, excluding anything release management team said was not useful from their research. That's all I was going to update on. I'll try to create an issue for discussion before our next sync. I mean, for discussion in the time between now and the next sync. Any questions for me on that?
Nothing.
Okay. And by the way, I think Vitika having those high level 3-year plan mock-ups kind of is going to prevent me from going down a route that would conflict with that. Okay. I don't know who's Vitika is your.
No, that's just like a read-only thing. I think Dog should be next.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have to start defining the problem validation, but we do anticipate to have several coming along, like the next iteration or so. We just went through some of the desired workflows, and I think like that on each and every workflow that we have there, we should probably create a problem validation. The first one, the immediate one, I think, is the one I listed here. We do want to create a dedicated home for pipeline authoring, where users are able to configure their pipeline. and we really want to understand like what is their desired experience, because there are a lot of moving parts. When you write your pipeline, you need to validate it. We have a section of visualization. We show errors, warnings, and more. So like all of that is something that would like to understand the overall experience, and more like if you go to the workflows, you see that there are plenty. And I think we're at time, so.
Yeah, we're at time. So the other stuff that's below the time marker there, we can come back to that or do it async if you want, Vitika, in a Slack.
Just copy paste it to the top of this document and let's discuss this next. And if they are important, we can do it async.
Okay.
Yeah, async would be better, just making it a point because it needs to be done fast.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, we're out of time. Thanks, folks. I'll load this video to Unfiltered in the playlist at the top of the agenda.
Thanks,
Bye, everyone.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys.